Hello YouTube. Here are some games. My work pouch, a couple tools. I think I'm going to be getting rid of these, so I really have to pare down. Really have too many games. So this is just, honestly, I only brought a few boxes down here. So I'm going to show you how the basement's coming along. So I was kind of mentioning before, I'm going kind of like for a 70s retro game room vibe. So kind of like a mid-century modern hangout. I'm going to show you something right now. So these are all built-in shelves that I built. This is all birch plywood, 3/4 inch birch. I really like how the corners kind of match up. I find it looks really good. It's kind of, you can't really tell right now, but it's gonna be floating off the ground a little bit. I still have some work to do, but basically I stained all these shelves and it's like a matte finish, a varathane finish. This shelf I did as well. And then you're gonna see this one hasn't been done yet, so I'm kind of giving you some contrast. Basically it's a clear coat, so there's no stain to it. It's just an oil-based varathane, and what it does is kind of just bring out all the grain. So I find it looks really nice. So you can kind of, it looks a little wet. Actually, it probably is still wet. I did it this morning. So this is kind of what we're working with. It's a little tricky down here to work with this space, but I feel like I've done it pretty well. Up top here, there's a little bit of a ledge. I'll probably be putting some showcase items up there. Each one of these is basically what I did is 7 3/4 inches high. I kind of took the average. So these are little spacers that are gonna go in afterwards. So these spacers I can stagger wherever I want, and I kind of can create a cool design, and I'm gonna show you what I did right here. So look, this is a floating piece that I built. So basically up here I've got, this is the size for Game Boy and disc-based systems like Dreamcast, PlayStation. Do I have a CD kicking around? So I kind of took the average of all these different gaming formats and kind of made it, so see, these are actually very similar to a Game Boy game. The only thing is they stick out a little bit further on the bottom there. So that's where I took the average. So this is 5 3/4. I know there's some people who are really interested in knowing kind of how I did this. So this is 5 3/4 deep, these shelves. That's what I made them. So basically that gives you, I think it's 6 rips, because a sheet of plywood is 4 feet by 8 feet. So with the blade width, when you're ripping, that gives you just under 6. So that was kind of a good average. I found out that, see, these guys sit in a little bit, but that's okay. Now down here we have a few NES games. So these are all a little different, but you can see how I did the spacers on this one. So they're a little bit different. I kind of offset them a little bit. You can't offset them too much more than that. They are like a structural element. Like if they don't go in there, these things are just gonna sag like crazy. But I didn't really want to have brackets or anything. My last game room, I had brackets kind of behind. And I also use this product called MDF. It's like a medium density fiberboard. Basically it's like glue and like sawdust compacted together. It's actually really nasty to cut and breathe. This stuff is birch. I find it came out really, really nice. And see, I made little small details like in the corners. I kind of mired the corners a little bit. You can see each ply, and some of them are different colors. You know, you'll get like a little bit of an orange tint. Some of it may not come off on camera a little bit, but hopefully you guys get the idea. So, sorry, I'm bouncing around a bit. So these are all 5 3/4 inches wide this way. These are 5 3/4 high this way. And down here, these are 7 3/4 this way. So for an average height, that's kind of what I came up with. I mean, if you guys are building custom shelving units, you can always change the heights to what you prefer. So basically, like, that's a Wii U case is like a standard DVD case. So you have a little bit of room for your finger to kind of, you could make it tighter so it really is just like barely, you know, you squeeze them out on the side kind of thing, but I kind of wanted to make it breathe a little bit, make it kind of nice. I only slowly started putting games in there recently, because I stained this cabinet waiting for these 2 to dry, then this big long one, I'm gonna stain that soon, and then that'll be it. So after that, I have a unit actually I'm picking up from IKEA, of all places. It's not my favorite place because, you know, I prefer custom built stuff, but I actually built this to fit this really cool retro looking IKEA TV bench kind of thing that fits right in between these shelves. So it's kind of like this high gloss beige, it looks like it's from the 60s kind of thing. So that's gonna slide right in here in the middle. The TV's gonna sit on that. I'm gonna actually paint all this brick. I already started priming it a little bit. So I'm gonna paint all this brick. The TV will end up covering these little cleanouts for my fireplace. I have a fireplace upstairs. We're in the basement right now. So that's kind of what we're working with. So I got a lot of teak furniture. I'm a really big fan of this kind of like Danish mid-century stuff. Here's some recent pickups I can show you. I was at Value Village yesterday. $3.99 for a Crystal Xbox controller. That's pretty good. And all these guys, we got Metroid, Rampage, Eggmania, which I didn't own, so I wanted to get that, and Red Hot Rumble. These are all complete. They were $3.99 each. And then I had a 20% off coupon, so that was like, ended up being like $3 each. Pretty good. So the gaming file does still get deals, but I'm really gonna start paring down the collection. Like, I really wanna make this not so much of a teenage boys game room. Like, I'm not gonna have posters anywhere. It's gonna be really, I'm gonna get a nice sectional down here. Like, it's gonna be something a little different than what you're used to. But anyways, guys, that's a little update for you. It's kind of cool. Yeah, so stay tuned for the next video. More updates to come.